people, welcome back to my channel, Cecelia O World. So now to the part 2 of how I started my master's degree in United States of America without paying a penny. In May 2012, I got to US and I needed to do something because then I was on F2 visa. My husband was a student. He had F1 visa. So F1 visa is for students, while F2 visa is for the dependents of the students. What that visa means is that just come, be making babies. You can't do anything. You can't even walk. It's illegal to walk. You can't walk. You can't do anything. So I started my process of getting my master's. I went to my school day. I went to New Mexico Institute of Mining and Technology in Socorro, New Mexico, in United States. And I met with my advisor then, and God used her for me. She was able to talk to some lecturers on my behalf. Even though I had already done my bachelor's degree in Nigeria and I graduated with 2-1. Then I did my bachelor's degree in animal science, and then they have the biology department. And my bachelor degree, I actually did my projects in something related to nutrition. I was given admission to study cellular biology, and my master's degree project was focused on drug, how you can use drug to control and inhibit the growth of a fungus. So we test different drugs. But before I go into that, I met with my advisor who told me that, okay, Cecelia, we can give you admission, but you have to pass this class, and you also have to make sure you have minimum of 3 points as a CGPA, overall CGPA, to keep your scholarship. So God used my advisor for me. I got my admission. Then I had to travel to Mexico to go change my visa from F2 to F1 because I cannot do any school. You can't even work on F2 visa. It's illegal to work or to do anything on F2 visa. So I had to change my visa from F2 to F1, then I had to travel to Mexico. I remember then when I traveled to Mexico to change my visa, because I had the option of going to Nigeria to change it, or go to Canada, or to go to Mexico. Then I decided to go to Mexico. And even going to Mexico to change the visa, if you are denied visa, it automatically cancels your initial visa. Then you have to go back to your home country. So I took a big risk going out of United States to Mexico to go change my visa. And I had my interview, and during my interview, I was meant to get my visa a few days later, but the officer told me, sit right back. We're going to print your visa for you right away. Oh yes, that surprised you, right? So after my interview, they told me to sit back, and they printed my visa, F1 visa, right away, immediately. So I got my visa on the spot, and I had to go back to school that day because they've already started lecture. And I was able to get a teaching assistant grant where I was able to, I taught undergraduate students chemistry. So they paid for my tuition. They gave me stipend every 2 weeks. And that was how I was able to do my master's degree. And towards the end, when I was about to finish, there was no funding. And I was doing my master's in biology. And I got my funding initially from chemistry department, teaching undergraduate students chemistry lab. But towards my last year, there was no funding. They had to cater for chemistry graduate students first before they can give it to someone from another department. But God showed up for me. I was able to get a funding with the math department. I got some funding from them, and I was able to finish my master's degree. I remember the year that I finished, I actually defended my thesis in November of 2014. Even though there was no job, I didn't have a job, I started applying But that thing was just pushing me, which was the Spirit of God. I was like, I told my advisor that I'm ready to graduate and I'm ready. So I defended my thesis a day to Thanksgiving in November 2014. And lo and behold, I started applying. Then I got a job in December. Yeah, I got a job in Florida in a biotechnology company in December. So I got this job and I was meant to resume by January 2015. Oh, yes. So I took a leap of faith, got a job, went to Florida all by myself. I have a 1-year-old that will soon turn 2. But my husband he's a very good man. He told me, don't worry, go pursue your dream. We'll be fine. Then I started the job. And from that job, I got another job with another biopharmaceutical company, which all happened by God's grace and miracle. Then I was with that job. Then I got another job as a senior scientist with Kerry Ingredients, where I work with their department where they produce media for microorganisms for culture. We produce media, which is food for culture. So I work with them. All along, God was faithful and He's still faithful. And now to my journey, how I became a US citizen. So when I was in Florida, I was on OPT. As a science student, you have the opportunity to get a 1-year OPT to work in United States. While you're working, you have another opportunity to extend the OPT then for another 1 year, 6 months. So I was on the first OPT and my husband had to push for our citizenship. And he did something they call NIW for people with extraordinary abilities. It has to do with research and all that. But to the glory of God, we were able to get our citizenship through that. It wasn't an easy experience, but God was with us all through the way. And the reason why I'm making this video is to let you know that even though God is in it, it's not going to be easy. But because God is in it, He will bring people in form of angels your way to help you to make sure that His purpose and plan for you come to pass. And about how I became US citizen, I'll tell you that story in the third part. All right, I'll see you in the next part. Thank you.